Hi, all. Welcome to Science with Ms. Steph. Let's go ahead and hop on live on Instagram as well. Hi, Science Club. Come on in, come on in. We are live for Science with Ms. Steph. Today is, what is it? Day after Earth Day. We're in April. Today is April 23rd, 2022. Yep. And we're going to do a little, like I said, a little science with Ms. Steph. We are on live on YouTube and on Instagram. Y'all ready to have a little fun? You know we're going to do some fun, right? Okay, so we've got two projects for you. Today's two projects are the following. We're going to do a little oobleck and shake it up with some shaving cream. Okay? We want to see if that matters. If it doesn't, add shaving cream to oobleck. Okay? Another thing that we're going to do is, as promised, we're going to do an art project. Return this here piece of random piece, I tell you, of a paper bag into a piece of art. That's what we're doing today, ladies, gentlemen, persons, and scientists. That is what we are going to do. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I know you are. Let's get into it. Alrighty then. So if you are here over on YouTube, let me just give you a quick little reminder. Like, share, subscribe. Okay. And yes, I'm Ms. Steph. Like I said, welcome to Science with Ms. Steph. Come on in, Science Clubbers. Hi, Instagram. Hi, YouTube. Let's do this. Alrighty then. So, the things that you will need for the black. Everybody say black. All right. The things that you're going to need are the following. You must have cornstarch. Yes, I know this is a plain little bag. Plain little bag. But you have to have cornstarch. Cornstarch. If you do not have cornstarch, you're gonna have an issue. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that again. Cornstarch. You must have cornstarch. Do not try this with any other kind of flour. This is a very special thing, that cornstarch and water. Yes, do you see my fancy, fabulous flask? Okay, flask. F for flask. All right. I have two beakers here. You notice I have one large beaker and a smaller beaker, and I have a spoon. All right, you want a pretty sturdy spoon. You can try a plastic spoon. You can, but remember, like yesterday was Earth Day, so we're trying to use things that can be easily rinsed off, rinsed out, and reused. Okay. Also, shaving cream. Remember, we're going to do our basic oobleck and then add some shaving cream to it and see what happens. You're going to need an assortment, okay, for our next project. You'll need an assortment of food coloring. Today for the black, I'm going to break out the purple. Y'all know I've not been doing purple as much lately because I try to respect that other people are on the planet and maybe they want to see other colors, but really frankly, your girl likes purple. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, welcome to Science with Ms. Steph. Let's hop right into the science. Okay. So, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to spin y'all a little bit. Instagram, spin y'all. And hopefully, you're tilted far enough down. YouTube, you should be good to go there. Just a little tilt for y'all. Alrighty then. So I'm going to add the majority, not all of it. I want to hold some back just in case I need to adjust what's going on. All right, but I am going to add the majority without getting it all over me of the cornstarch into my large beaker. Now, here's the thing. Usually, anybody who's been watching me for a long time knows that usually I do kind of get the cornstarch like puffed up. Somehow it puffs up it like into my face and stuff. And I'm trying to minimize that today. Y'all might get a good laugh at it. I see you. Music City. I know you get a good laugh when the cornstarch gets all over me. Um, but yeah. All right. So there we go. Here you go. Once again, welcome to Science with Ms. Steph. And we're making oobleck. That's the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to make some basic traditional oobleck. Traditional oobleck has two primary ingredients, and they come, remember, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Okay. They come in specific ratios. Ratio is a mathematical term. Okay. To make your oobleck, you want to do a 2-to-1, 2 parts cornstarch and 1 part water. Okay. I typically like to use water on the cooler side because you'll notice the warmer your water gets, you're going to change your substance. It's not going to behave like oobleck if you use warm water. I'm going to do a little something here because I just want to make sure that we don't have issues. There we go. Steadying you, steadying you. Okay. If you use warm water or hot water, you're actually going to get a situation to where you now are going to make a different substance other than our traditional oobleck. Okay. So those are the two main ingredients: water on the cooler side and cornstarch. The other thing that makes it fun, I always tell y'all, do you have to have food coloring? No, not for a lot of the things that I do. Do you have to have it? Absolutely not. However, do I like food coloring? Yes. Does color make life better? Yeah. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to add, this is my gel food coloring. So I'm just going to do 3 drops, folks. Do not add your whole entire bottle. You see how big my eyes are getting? I actually have relatively small eyes. You see my big old eyes? Do not add your whole entire bottle into there. Okay? You just don't need that. Entirely unnecessary. Alrighty then. So moving on, I'm going to add the water. Notice how I added the food coloring. The food coloring now will mix in a lot easier when I add the water. The food coloring is water soluble, the S in STEAM science, right? So we already talked about the mathematical component, and now we're going into the science component. Okay. I always like to do all, do y'all see it? Do y'all see it happening? All right. I always like to do all 5 letters on Saturdays. So for those of you who are in New York City, you know that we are actually back to meeting in person. All right. Which is why online friends, you only see me come on and hang out with you twice a month at the most, right? Because the other 2 Saturdays a month, I am in person hanging out do with my awesome young scientists from ages 3 to 13 on Saturdays. And then we have some volunteers and all that type of stuff. All right, so you see this substance. Here's the thing with Oobleck. Here's the thing that makes it fun. Here's the thing that makes it like a science thing. Okay? Is that you see this substance. You see how kind of just liquidy that top layer is performing, right? You see that liquid that's happening? What? Okay. When I start to stir this, when I start to add pressure to it, it's actually going to give me some pushback, which is kind of awesome and surprising, right? But we make science fun. And so, guess what? Like, come on now. It's going to be cool, right? I kid you not. It is super hard and difficult for me to stir. And that's the beauty and the coolness and the funness and exciting part of oobleck. Okay. Do y'all see how it's coming off the spoon right now? What? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, stirring it up, stirring it up, stirring it up. Okay. Once again, welcome to Science with Ms. Steph. We are having a little fun with shaving cream today. Okay. We've got a couple of different things that we're doing. We've got two, literally a couple, right? Two is another way to say couple. I mean, couple is another way to say two. All right, we've got a couple of activities that I'm doing that use or require shaving cream. All right. So you notice, wow, there we go. Okay. Became a bit easier for me to stir. You see how, okay, when I exert pressure on this substance, it behaves more like a solid, but in reality, that's not how stuff is supposed to act. Okay. Newtonian. Everybody say Newtonian, as in Newton. Okay. Scientists. Okay. Relatively famous scientist, FYI. Okay. Okay. Newtonian physics says that if I exert, so like if I had water, right? You see this water? If I stirred the water, stirring the water doesn't make it all of a sudden act like it's a solid or make it act more liquidy. It just doesn't. Okay? Newtonian physics says that that makes sense. However, non Newtonian fluids, which is what Oobleck is. By the way, for those of you wondering, and those of you who are going, it looks like slime. Guess what? Slime is also a non Newtonian substance. Okay? Right? You know how, like, you can, like, let slime just gotta sit in your hand, but then you squeeze it, all kinds of different things happen, right? Like, if you're more aggressive with the slime, it comes off of your hands easier than if you let it, right? Okay, so you see how I added a bit more cornstarch there? Remember, that's why I left it back again, using my prior knowledge of this substance and how it behaves. Whoa! Woo. To be prepared and to engineer, right? Using my math and science knowledge, okay? To make sure that this came out fabulously. Y'all see how this is happening. It's so cool. Do you see it? Do you see it happening? All right, let me tilt this. Tilt you a bit. Okay. What? Can you see that kind of pull that I'm getting? It's just crazy. Anywho, I could like play with this for hours. Well, maybe not hours, but for a while. Okay. Okay. So my friends on Instagram, y'all can't see this over here. But my friends on Instagram, random fact about me. All right, I'm gonna point to this. Do you see that kind of pink? There it is. Loop. Random fact about me. My mommy was a nurse. She was a scientist too, right? Yeah, that's one of the STEAM jobs, okay? Being a nurse. And that is her stethoscope, okay? Or one of them. She had several. But anyway, so yeah, I keep that in my house. All right. Okay, cool. So I've like played with it enough. Like enough. Let's move on, Miss Steph, to the next thing. All right. So as promised, I'm going to add shaving cream to it. I said I was going to make my plain oobleck. Okay, maybe just one more drop of food coloring. That's one more, right? Cool, cool, cool. There we go. I'm gonna make sure that it's pigmented enough because I'm getting ready to add shaving cream to it. Okay. Now, as a scientist, you can imagine you can be asking yourselves with the eyebrow raised. I have a friend that does the raised eyebrow a lot better. She's on our board. Charmaine. Hi, Char. Anywho, see, raised eyebrow. Um, but Miss Steph, how am I going to compare and contrast these two substances if you just add shaving cream here? Great question, scientist. No. Am I going to just add the shaving cream like directly inside of here? Ha ha! No. Did you say the ha ha with me? Did you? Ha ha! All right. No. So I need to make two separate samples so that I'm able to compare and contrast them. This is what scientists do. They like ask questions. What happens if I add shaving cream to oobleck? And then they design an investigation, an experiment to test that out, right? So Going to pour. Do you see the pouring? Do you see the pouring? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Woohoo! Y'all, I love it. All right, so I poured right now. Going to hold back this spoon for that and that only. Now let's take a clean, yes, clean spoon, okay, to prep my shaving cream sample. And if I was like, if I wanted to be like really accurate and submit this for an actual science project, right, I would need to do some measures, some more um, intense measurements. You saw I did some measurement, but I would need to do a bit more intense measurement. But for our shenana whatnot and our excitement today, and for me to just kind of introduce this to, we're just working it out. Okay. I'm going to do a little this. Okay. Spoon. Oh, kind of spoonful. No, spoonful. I'm going to go about 4, right? Again, I'm just doing estimations. All right. Spoonful SGU. The shaving cream. Okay, so that puffiness and that um kind of maintaining of shape is something we're going to use for the next project. Remember, I promised you 2 projects and we've only done 1. All right, so stirring this. What madness. All right, yes, so I got to stir this up. And then after I've combined, whew, strong smell, strong smell. For those of you who are smell sensitive, y'all know how I am about that. Just be aware. Okay, just be aware. Okay. When you're picking your brand of shaving cream to do this project, just be aware that the shaving cream has a strong, different shaving creams, right? Have like kind of different strong scents. Okay. So I'm mixing this, okay? And some of you may be thinking like kind of like puff paint or kind of like the other shaving cream dependent activities and investigations that we've done in the past, like, is this going to come out puffy? Okay, that may have been kind of a secondary question to your primary question of like, what happens when you add shaving cream to Oobleck? Doesn't matter. Okay, is it straightforward, as in just adding shaving cream to Oobleck? Like, is that all I have to do? Remember, I kept some of my cornstarch back because I know from my previous knowledge. There's that E again, using my science and math knowledge. Okay, you see, I'm kind of giving a really, really good stir. Okay, right. So you should already notice like that's a difference already, right? Because I thought oobleck is hard to stir. Hmm. And then I added my shaving cream, and all of a sudden it's like not as hard to stir. Also, oobleck is kind of like smooth. Do you see the bumpiness here? Just yeah, right? It's kind of bumpy that there, right? You see it? Hmm. Wow. All these changes, all these differences, all this. I'm actually going to add a little bit more water. I know it seems strange. Trust me, people. A little bit of water. Do 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 do. Okay. A little bit of water and a little bit of this, and then I'll stir again. Right. Amazing, right? So now let's to our compare and contrast. I'm using, again, remember, celebrating Earth Day, celebrating Earth Month. The plate, yes, the plate is a disposable plate, but I have actually reused it several times. All right, so let's get into this compare step so that we can do our other thing, right? Didn't I promise you 2 projects? All right. So, see that? The way it poured, the way they're moving on the plate are completely different. The level of pigmentation is different, right? Remember I added that one more drop of my purple food coloring. Now y'all see why. You probably like already suspected why, but okay. So, finger test. Alrighty then, let's get our paper towel ready. This is paper towel, right? Part of it. Again, remember, celebrating Earth Day, not just in like the activity itself, but in the way that we use the materials. All right, so touching. It's like soft, but that's kind of it. It's not really all that like exciting. Okay. But now, touching. Remember, the other one like stayed on my hand more. Fast. Okay, it's behaving like it's a solid. But then when I am gentle with it, it comes off on my hand. Y'all see that? And I can use the shaving cream one to help wipe it off. What? Amazing. All right. Cool. So, folks, that is Oobleck with shaving cream. That's what happens. Like Oobleck in itself is already cool. But you add a little shaving cream, it completely changes the physical properties of it. Doesn't that prove that having different chemicals in something makes it different? Okay. Anywho, cool. Let's put that to the side. Putting it to the side, and now moving on to our next activity. Okay. Did not promise y'all that we were going to turn a paper bag. I'm so serious. Okay. So here's an example. This is what the paper. This is my paper bag. Okay. Then I did some cutting. And I got these trusty, handy, dandy squares. Do you want to see this trusty, handy, dandy square turned into a piece of art? Yes, you do. Just say yes, you know you do. Okay? You know you do. You know that's what you came here for. Okay? That's what you came here for. Alrighty then. Putting this here. Okay. Now, so the materials that we need. Materials. All right. The science term for ingredients, right? The stuff we're using, the materials that we need, as I said previously, right? I said we need an assortment, an array of colors, right? Of food coloring. You can do this with other pigmentation like thingies, okay, right? You can do this with like paint and all that type of stuff, but I've really found that food coloring works best. All right, now the gel food coloring you're going to see is going to pose a bit of a challenge, but we're going to make it work. Why? Because we're us. We're scientists. We're artists. We're creative, right? And mathematicians, right? So again, the amount of color that I put down is going to make a difference, and I need to be aware and careful with that. Trusty dandy shaving cream. Didn't I tell y'all we were doing both activities? Amen. Yes. With shaving cream. This doohickey, you can use a squeegee or you can use a craft stick. Since I have the squeegee, I'm going to use the craft stick for another part of it, but I am going to use the squeegee for the last step, and you'll see. Yes, I know you're like the stuff out here breaking the squeegee, a squeegee. The stuff. What are you doing with the squeegee? You'll see. Okay. All right. And once again, my handy dandy plates. And remember, yes, it is a plastic plate, but it is a reusable plate. And I've reused it several times. I'm going to be reusing it again. All right. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your shaving cream. Shake your shaving cream. All right. So, do. And here we go. Right. We've already been on for a little bit. So I'm going to speed these things up. Okay, because I do like to be done in the half hour. Why? Because it's fun and all. But I do want to make sure that we're not on for too long. Pay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do. Bag. Art. Hashtag day. Okay. Cool. All right. Stabilize. Okay. Cool. So, shaving cream. Again, just be advised, some shaving cream has very strong smell. So for those of you who are smell sensitive like myself, just be aware / prepared / whatever and whatnot. Okay. This activity should be a relatively affordable activity for my parents out there. Parents, guardians, folks doing like, after schools and all that kind of stuff. This is something dollar store shaving cream. I got mine from there's a Lidl here. Sure. Dollar store, Target. I've gotten shaving cream from a bunch of different places. Yeah. Anywho. All right, so notice I'm leaving that to the side. Notice I kind of flattened that out. I hope y'all caught that, right? Now, and I put a pretty solid layer down. Okay. Remember, we're trying to turn this into art. Okay. Let me make sure that that doesn't spill over. Excuse me. One moment, please, people. There we go. All right. Boom. Observations. You got to be observant as a scientist. Scientist, teacher, human. Okay. Anywho, trying to turn this into a piece of art. Right? Adding color. Art is something that we enjoy by definition. There's different artists that follow me and that I work with in various capacities. So if any of those folks are on and you want to comment on your definition, right? If you're on Instagram, you can, drop your comment below as far as what your definition of art is. Okay. All right. So I'm laying down. And I'm sure they would tell you is that you have to be careful with the amount of pigment you use. It's super important. Okay. So that's what I'm doing as well. You notice I'm doing like just little small drops. Again, the property of the shaving cream, right? That physical ability of the shaving cream to hold its shape and stay puffy is what's also going to help us be able to create a design. And then another property of it being able to be wiped off easily, will help us only leave, okay, the design. All right, so I'm going to put this here. I want to do this, this. Okay, so that was quite a bit, but that's just because of I'm using 4. Okay, and again, you can use whatever colors you want. I do want you to be super clear on the fact that if you use too much pigmentation and if you overstir in the next step, it's your design will be a bit too complex for it to be able to be seen. All right, so I'm gonna do my red in the middle. Okay. I'm using, for in case you're wondering what colors I'm using orange. Okay. I just put down some red before the orange. Orange, red. Let's tilt y'all back down so that you can really see what's going on. Okay. Orange, red. I'm about to throw some yellow in here. Well, not throw, but strategically place yellow. I did purple. Y'all know how I feel about purple. Some of you should. Have you been watching me regularly enough to understand how I feel about purple? Okay. And blue, right? So watch me for this next step. I'm going to really be, some of you have seen me do this before, like way back in the day, but I'm going to be careful not to over mix. You don't want to turn this into one color. It's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to make sure that there is enough design left. All right, so I'm going to do swirl. 1, 2, swirl. Okay. Turn it. You see my swirl? Turn it again a little bit. Swirl. Okay. And that's my last swirl for now. For now. I'll talk to you about what you can do again later. All right, let me grab this paper towel because it's been used once already. So again, reduce, reuse, recycle, folks. Really trying to drive home that Earth Day concept, right? And how we can celebrate Earth Day in different ways. Okay, there's different events going on throughout this month, right? Because we kind of live on the planet more than just August 22nd. I mean, August, Lord, forgive me, April 22nd. Okay. Right. And some of us celebrate Earth Day in large ways, and some of us are celebrating it in more kind of what might be more sustainable ways. All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up. All right. See what it looks like right now. See this right now. Okay. Take this to the side. Okay. My one material that is completely just disposable today. Paper towel. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to lay it down in a way that's going to make it easy for me to do my last step. This is the last step. Right? I'm taking my squeegee. Y'all, I feel like we've had so much fun today on science with Ms. Steph, right? We did a classic science activity, okay? Classic youth science activity, Oobleck. We made the Oobleck. And of course, you can play with the Oobleck, okay? You can do different things with it. You can even try other additives than what I added, right? I added shaving cream, but you could try oil. You could try different kinds of oil. You could try different amounts of water. People, there are things that you can do. You're all scientists and you can try it out, right? And then we rocked out this conversion of a piece of paper bag into marbleized paper. Okay. And guess what? This is already dry or close to dry. You see, I'm not disturbing the design. Cool. And before I log out, let me show you how you can keep using, right? Because you may think, okay, well, that was only one press. That's like kind of a little wasteful. Huh. Tis. No. There's plenty of pigment left. So I'm going to go swirl one, right? A rotation. Remember, you don't want to over swirl because you want the colors to remain separate. Okay, enough. All right. So if you wanted to like minimize your paper towel usage, okay, for this, of course, you could rinse this off. But I'm not close to a sink right now. That means I would have to leave y'all. But just, I'm letting you know different ways of how you could really, really make this activity as like sustainable and just use as minimal materials as possible. Okay. And then of course, see, this is fine. I can reuse the paper towel for what I used it for again. I'm doing another press and I can press on either side, right? And remember, this is just a paper bag that I got. like my food delivery. And I used this as paper earlier this week as well when I did this activity with my students. Okay. Right, teachers? So you're seeing different ways and different things that you can. I want to really, really get this down. And you notice how I'm being gentle. Okay. So, pro tip for my after school directors, parents, educators, older siblings wanting to do this, older cousins wanting to do this with younger children. Okay. Remind them not to like squish it all the way down. Now, that could be a science experiment in itself. Okay. So I just want to make that clear. If you're focused on the art project, teach the technique. But if you're focused on the experimentation, the exploration aspect of it, like when I did this on Wednesday, I just let them kind of press and see what happened. Okay. Um, Print, it takes almost no time for the pigment to come off. See? Do you see? Okay. And you see how the same materials are going to give me a completely different, same colors and everything, a completely different design. Cool, cool, cool. Another thing I could kind of do, like maybe not all day, but like for a long time. I love this project. It's actually one of my faves. All right, y'all. We've been on for like a minute. Okay. So I'm getting ready to log off. But science with Miss Steph, yada yada. Okay. But do you see it? Aren't these like cool? Aren't these so cool? Yeah. Guys, like stuff I can put up. This is where I get the stuff that goes on my wall, y'all. Like this is not random like fake stuff that I put up. Okay, so quick review. I already did one, but I like to review. I like to make things clear. Your materials and all that type of stuff are star material today, right? Again, another plug to my fellow educators in whatever capacity and identification you are to our awesome, brilliant scientists known as children. Okay, yeah. Hi guys, all my students watching. Thank you for watching. Right, no matter who you are to kids, like this activity, especially the oobleck, these two activities are ones that are like that you can totally do, right? Um, if you're wanting to try the oobleck, cornstarch, water, large container, and a spoon, and you have oobleck. Okay. Remember to make sure your water is not warm. If your water is warm, you're going to actually be making finger paint, which you can if you want to, but just know that that's you're not gonna make oobleck. Okay. And it's not going to behave in a really cool way that is really super entertaining and kind of will keep kids occupied for a long time. It's a different activity. All right. Um, if you want to spice it up, the oobleck, you can do what I did, add food coloring. Okay, remember, don't add too much. And keep in mind that the food coloring you see, okay, we'll get onto the hands, yada yada, right? Like I said, I added shaving cream. See, y'all, it's real over here. This is not stuff that I like throw away. Okay, yeah, so you can add shaving cream, or some oil. I've done this. I've done the oobleck with oil. Really super exciting things that you can do with um, with these materials, right? Then I apologize for my some folks that might bother. Then when you're talking about doing this DIY marbleized paper, because this is one of my various ways of making marbleized paper, I want to say I have at least 4 different ways that I do it. The shaving, this one is the one that I saw online years ago when I started Miss Steph Science Club. Maybe we've been doing this ever since 2013. Okay, like I said, I saw it on YouTube and I was like, yes, that's something I can spend. And so with this project, basic materials that you need some form of paper. And again, that's another way you can explore is how the pigment will come off on different forms of paper. But anywho, you need paper, shaving cream. As you see, it must be shaving cream because you must have that poof, right, kids? Like kids, persons, right? Everybody that's watching, y'all know how I am. I talk to the adults at certain points, and I talk to you. Okay, right? So you have to have something that will be able to absorb pigment. And you can experiment with that. And you have to have the shaving cream that will puff up, right? Sometimes people have tried my projects and been like, but Ms. Steph, it didn't work. And then come to find out maybe it's the shaving gel, right? There's stuff that you have to do to the shaving gel to make it work, but shaving cream, it just stays. Also, you need some type of swirling apparatus. I used a craft stick today. You can use whatever you want. Okay, you need something to be able to make your swirls. Do not make too many swirls the first time around. And you see why I said not to do that, right? It's because you want to be able to control how your artwork comes out and all that type of stuff. You see the oxidizing cream, you need some form of pigment. Food coloring is the easy one. Food coloring you get from the dollar store. Okay, again, craft sticks, dollar store. Plates, dollar store. Shaving cream, dollar store. Okay, and you can get various versions of stuff from other sources, but other source locations. But I just want to make sure that you're aware. One of my big tenets is that it needs science, exploration, and excitement is to be affordable, and it should be fun, right? You know how I feel about that. We make science fun. It's on various t-shirts. Okay. All right. So, folks, I mean, I really hope that you've had a good time. I'm going to squeegee this last thing. All right. But for y'all, I'm about to roll out. Okay. It's been super fun hanging out with you today. Like I said, I really hope that you've had a great time. Please remember to like, share over here on YouTube, subscribe, whatnot, over here on Instagram. Share this, throw this in your stories. Okay. And you can, other folks can find me. You notice how I'm doing things that I really want them to be accessible to everybody. Okay. Also, one last final thing. Okay, maybe not final, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. One last thing for those of you wondering how I pick my projects or wondering if you can be a part of the project that gets picked for the next time or for the next couple of times. Literally, all you have to do is send me an appropriate message. Over here on Instagram, you can just drop a comment. Okay. Over here on YouTube, because I do have a child safe channel, you will need to send me a private message. Make sure you're sending me appropriate messages, people. I only take messages that are about science club. Okay. Take that however you want to. I just want to make sure that we're all safe and that we feel respected over here on the internet. Cool. Instagram, I'm out from you first. Over here on YouTube, let's throw on a little loafy. Alrighty then, but okay, folks, Instagram, let's roll out. Thank you so much for watching Science with Ms. Steph, and I will see you next time. People, let's do this one last little squeegee. What? Do. It's been fun, people. I'll see y'all next time.